Hi, I'm Katie with Pig Easy. Today we're going to talk about different options for installing the MealMeter into existing feeders. So we've set up an entire MealMeter system with the stainless steel bowl that's developed specifically for ad-lib feeding. However, we understand that certain farms have already invested in the stainless steel feeder, or their feeders are in really good condition and they're just not in a position to invest entirely in a new feeder. We've installed the MealMeter into many different types of feeders, and we're just going to give you a few examples of the different styles today that we've done in the past. To retrofit your existing bowl, first you're going to need the MealMeter, and the MealMeter is housed in the lactation boot, and this will be installed on the side, either side of your existing feeder. But an important part of retrofitting your existing feeder is the water pipe with the button nipple. And this is key for success of the MealMeter system because it trains the sow to clean up her bowl with every drink. The first one here is the hog slat short bowl. And this one at first was a little tricky when determining how to best install it into the feeder because it is a short height, so we couldn't just install it from the side. So what we did is we developed a bracket, a side bracket that works right here, and it's just bolted in. We want to make installation as easy as possible for you, and this is just another way that we do that. This bracket can be used on either side. The lactation boot goes straight through this hole right here, and I can turn this so you can see. And the important thing with the boot with installing is that you attach it at 3 points. So you've got 2 at the bottom here and then 1 at the top. That way it stays secure all the time and you've got good longevity in the boot. The other part of the short hog slat feeder, with this water bowl, because this is larger, we bend the bottom of the water pipe so that way we can get that nipple down as far as possible so she doesn't overwater herself, because we don't want to inhibit any consumption as she's dropping more feed into the bowl. So what we do as Pig Easy is if you let us know you've got this short hog slat feeder, we'll bend the water pipe for you so that way, again, it's just an easy installation. Next up, we've got the general tube feeder. This is a pretty popular feeder, and we have a lot of producers coming to us asking how to retrofit the MealMeter into this feeder. A couple of obstacles that we have to work around to keep in mind is, number one, the flip down option over to the side here. The concern is that there's not enough room to place it into the outside. Otherwise, the first thought we have is to cut a hole through the side so you can feed the lactation boot through there. However, we're able to put it on the inside, and I'll show you that in a minute. The other obstacle that you have to remove is the adjustment here at the top. You can just cut that out like we did here. But otherwise, it's ready to go for an easy installation or retrofit into this existing feeder. Typically on a large feeder, if you have a 90-degree angle, we have beveled edges here where it goes into a 90-degree angle. So you're able to install it from 2 different sides or fasten it from 2 different sides. And the nice part is with the boot, it juts it out just enough so the MealMeter can spin no problem. So it's designed to place the MealMeter at the perfect position for the sow to turn the MealMeter. However, with this feeder, it has a rounded back corner. So you need to install it just on that back here. So you place it inside, you would make up a template and drill some holes into the side so that way it is completely secure and ready for MealMeter application. The other part of this feeder is you're gonna have to drill a couple holes just like with the hog slat feeder for the water pipe. The nice part about this bowl is it does have a flat bottom for the most part. It's, again, a lot larger than ours. However, it's really easy to place the button nipple low into this feeder, so there's no need to bend the water pipe at all. So it can come just straight and makes for a simple installation as well. One thing I didn't mention with the hog slat feeder is that, especially with a large bottom bowl, you're going to want a weep hole, and the weep hole needs to be about 1.5 to 2 inches up from the the floor or the bottom of the feeder, and it's simply just drilling a hole. And for the reason for that is, let's say you have a leaky nipple or the sow does over dispense water, you just don't want her to inhibit herself from consuming more feed, and so you don't want her to have to drop a little bit of feed into a lot of standing water. So this is a good way to do that, is just with a simple small weep hole. This next feeder is a standard large bowl that actually came from our own sow farm that we had for years. I remember hand feeding to this feeder during night check many years as a kid. This was obviously the first place that Dad went when he went to installing the MealMeter, and before we designed our own feeder specifically for ad lib feeding. A couple options for installing this, installing the MealMeter into this type of a feeder. Preferably what we would say is to install it from the outside and going in. So that would take a plas cutter and a template, and we've got the template all ready to go. So you would just need this template. It's universally designed so it could go on either side. What's nice about it is you stick it right up on the edge here, and it has a stopper on either side, and it gives you exactly where the holes need to be cut for the MealMeter installation. A plas cutter, most farms have them, and if they don't, they're really economical and you can use them for a lot of different applications, so we suggest it might be a good investment, especially when installing stuff like this. The other thing is the water pipe. Again, because it's got a flatter bottom, or you can get down pretty low, there's no need to bend the water pipe, so it's a very simple installation of the water pipe here. And again, you want that weep hole pretty low into the bowl, so that way the sow doesn't over dispense water, which would inhibit her dispensing her feed. The other option for the MealMeter in this scenario is installing it from the inside. And again, the boot was developed for both options. So that way you can have a fastening point on two different spots, but it fits right in the corner here. So it's just simply installing it from the back and from the side, drilling a hole. When a customer asks us if we prefer installing it from the inside or through a cut hole from the outside, we usually say from the outside for a few reasons. The first being that you can install this on the hinge side of your head of your feeder, and so if you have to open up your front gate at all, this is going to move very little, so it won't disturb the feed line up above and any feed inside of there. The second benefit of having it from the outside with a hole is that it really is the prime placement of where the feed drops into the bowl. So when you install it from the outside, that feed is going to drop right to the center there, and if you move it into the inside, it's going to go more over to the side, and we really like it in the center there. Here's another option for installing into your existing barn, and that's using our feeder into your existing head gate. We also have a head gate option, but again, if your head gates are in good condition, we totally understand you wanting to use your existing equipment. So this is a farm weld head gate, and what we did is we modified our feeder to utilize all the benefits of the farm weld head gate, which is the tip down option. We also closed up the bottom corners here so no pigs can get through. That's one thing about our feeder, is that because we took out the corners, the side corners, they need to be closed up on the head gate. So this is an easy option for installing into an existing head gate, and if you have a different head gate you want to look into installing our feeder in, we can take a look and figure out how to customize our feeder to fit into your head gate. Another addition to our feeder that we get a lot of great reviews on, that we use in our own sow farm, is this quick coupler here. So that goes above the water pipe, makes clean out or washout time really easy. And the reason for that is the valve is on the top here. You don't need to shut the water off to the room, and you don't need to mess with those quarter turns. Basically, you press this button, the water shuts off. It's a quick valve, and they hold up really well, and they're very simple to use. So there you have it. This is the MealMeter system. We showed you a few different options for retrofitting into existing feeders, but it doesn't just stop there. We've done a lot of different projects with a lot of different feeder styles. And so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and we can work out an option that works best for you. The reason that we made this so adaptable to all these different feeders is because we understand the challenges of updating existing equipment. And our goal is to make it easy, because easy is better.